forest is silent. Snow clings to the branches of ancient conifer trees, and a cold mist drifts through the frozen air. But hidden amongst the white wilderness, a predator waits. Every movement is calculated. Every step is silent. Its feathered body blends perfectly with the snowy landscape as it stalks through the shadows, eyes locked on prey that has no idea it's being hunted. This is Yutyrannus, a giant feathered killer that ruled the frozen forest of the early Cretaceous. In a world of ice, survival belongs to those who remain unseen, and Yutyrannus is the master of the ambush. Yutyrannus was the perfect blend of apex predator and master of camouflage. Its white and beige feathers allow for the animal to blend perfectly into its hostile environment. Measuring up to 9 meters long and weighing up to 1.5 tons, this was one of the largest predators that northeastern China had ever encountered. Yutyrannus is often misidentified as a Tyrannosaurid, which is only half the truth. Yutyrannus is actually a member of the Proceratosaurid family, which is a sister group of Tyrannosauridae. Well, it is a part of the superfamily Tyrannosauroid. This means that Yutyrannus was related to Tyrannosaurus rex, but not directly related. There was already Tyrannosaurids in Asia, such as Asiatyrannus. Yutyrannus is classified as a basal and more primitive Tyrannosaurid. Its jaw structure and teeth were robust enough to show similarities to the infamous T-Rex. However, it was more primitive, and it wasn't quite as powerful as you'll see later in the video. Yutyrannus was equipped with 3-fingered claws, which is one of the main reasons as to why it's not part of Tyrannosauridae, as Tyrannosauridae had typically 2-fingered claws instead of 3. Regardless, Yutyrannus is one of the largest members of its family and hunted equally large prey. Yutyrannus would have most likely been an ambush predator, using its white feathered coat to hide itself amongst the snow and creep closer to any unsuspecting prey, and then launch itself forward when in striking distance, using its powerful legs to capture and shock its prey. The prey in question would have been heavy hitters such as Dong-bit Titan. Not only did Yutyrannus hunt sauropods and large herbivores, but there's also fossil evidence of Yutyrannus hunting fish species such as Lycoptera. The barren land that this animal inhabited meant that it couldn't really be picky with what it ate. Anything that it could catch, it would, and everything was on the menu. Staying with the fossils of Yutyrannus, this animal was an absolute pioneer when it came to feathers. There's some remarkable fossils of Yutyrannus that showed feather preservation. This is what spearheaded the belief that feathers wasn't just for birds and dromaeosaurids, but instead large predators could have also been feathered. Now, the reason that this animal had feathers is actually more practical than what many people think. As I've already mentioned, the feathers were perfect camouflage for its environment, but Yutyrannus lived in such a hostile environment that its plumage was able to reach up to 20 centimeters in length. This coat would have been thick enough and large enough that it would have acted as a perfect insulator, allowing the animal to stay warm, showing us that this animal definitely lived in a snowy and cold environment. These thick feathers are one of Yutyrannus' better known features. As a matter of fact, Yutyrannus is the largest known completely feathered predatory dinosaur. These feathers, however, would have looked a lot more shaggy than neat looking. This means that it would have been more similar to the coat of an emu and ostrich than large pronounced feathers like you see on eagles or falcons. I've previously mentioned Yutyrannus' powerful legs. We see this in the media as well, where Yutyrannus is often depicted as more of a speed-based predator than a power-based predator. And this depiction is actually completely right. Paleontologists estimate that Yutyrannus could reach a top speed of 31 to 36 miles per hour. This means that Yutyrannus would have exceeded the speed limit in the majority of roads in the UK. You can't see it coming, you can't hear it coming, and best of all, you can't outrun it. Yutyrannus was built for speed, but it wasn't a slouch in the power business. Yutyrannus actually had a bite force of around 12,000 newtons. This would have been more than enough to destroy near enough anything, but Yutyrannus' teeth were curved and serrated. This was perfect for slicing and ripping flesh off. A powerful bite combined with all 56 serrated teeth meant that anything unfortunate enough to be caught in its mouth would have been ripped to shreds remarkably fast. As always, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video about Yutyrannus, and I hope you've gained a new respect for one of Asia's most fearsome predators. As always, I will see you next time we go through the Paleo Portal.